What's going on, everyone? This is Sheets, and we're going to be once again doing our lineup build for the League of Legends slate. We're going to actually give people a little bit of a lag on this one. I'll give you guys an hour to kind of stew over this. There's been some wild kind of projection variance in the industry, so it's putting a little pressure on me and everybody to kind of get these right. I mean, you're seeing wild differences, and the reason for that is that some projection sources project teams and players to win, given that they've already won. In other words, they make a projection if win, where others make a projection on median projection, which basically means, you factor in the fact, the chances of winning, sort of, so to you can't compare really apples to apples, and you can't say average projections if you want to aggregate them in some way because they're just operating on completely different scales. Now, again, I'm just kind of talking through this. I don't expect anybody to be following this, but the fact is that it's becoming quite a challenge to figure out which projection models to use. I go back and forth between going with straight medians to put in the main fields. And sometimes I will try the if win variations, but I still like to start with the medians to start with. The other thing that you've been noticing is that there have been just an inordinate amount of non-traditional stacks winning these things. Um, so I'm not going to fight that. In other words, if I come up with really good 4-2s, I'm just going to roll with them. The other thing that you'll notice from an overall meta is that the junglers are really, really killing it. I mean, junglers and captains have been doing extraordinarily well. I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure there have been, but slates without either a jungler or ADC in the captain are very, very rare. I mean, there used to be the occasional top in the captain and the mid in the captain, depending on who it was, but it's really been dominated by, well, ADC, you would understand, but junglers are just really just, I guess, because of the way the map is set up and the way everybody's playing, junglers are really, really scoring quite a bit. I do think that the projections have caught up to some degree, but I don't think that they've caught up all the way. That's the other takeaway. All right, so let's go ahead and build our lineups here. And again, we're going to be playing 40 lineups in the MME and one in the Triumphant Warrior. And so what we've done is we've put the information on the Triumphant Warrior into the Sims so that when they run the contest Sims, let's enable this. We can't enable it until we finish this off. Okay, so what is going to be 15 people in this one? First is going to be 33, 20% cash, and we'll put, we're going to put one lineup in that. So now at least it's saved this so we can run the Sims with it. So let's go ahead and build these lineups. I did have sort of a take, and I didn't know if I wanted to change the projections or just kind of do whatever. I do think that the Thunder Talk side is going to be really low owned relative to their chances of winning. They haven't been in good form recently, but again, their level of competition has been much stronger. And I just have a feeling this line is a little wide, which means that the projections are probably a little wide on Ninja and Pajamas. So if anything, I would be inclined to fade the Ninja and Pajama side and play more Thunder Talk to be contrarian. I think that's probably a pretty interesting way to go. And listen, the obvious other thing to target is this IG JDG match, and I think people are going to play both sides of this. Um, I'm not going to again. I'm not. I don't think I'm going to try to play any DNF at as a minus plus 500 favorite underdog. FearX again plus 500 favorites, plus 500 underdogs. That's just really really tough to do. Um, but we'll see if I get to them. If I get to them organically, sure, that's fine. But I'm not going to force myself to play either of those things. And the other thing again is, as I mentioned, I am not going to make any rules regarding four threes, versus four twos. And this is a big change for what I used to do. I mean, I used to really just, insist on four threes, but I've just seen too many slates where these 4-2-1s have been just getting there. So I'm not gonna, miss out on that. What I'm still not doing, and maybe this is a mistake, I'm still not doing any game stacking. And I do see a couple of very, well-known players go ahead and game stack, but it's just not my thing. I don't know what to say. I just can't imagine that being good. Now you see I'm building just a ton of lineups here, and there's really no need, okay, to build 5,000 lineups. There's just, I don't even know how many combinations there are, honestly. You're going to be getting just a whole bunch of stuff that you don't really need. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and just run the Sims and see what we get here. So I'm not gonna X out like the 3-2, I'm not gonna X out 4-2s, but I'm not gonna play 3-3s either. I'm gonna limit it to either 4-2s and 4-3s. And I'm curious to see what we actually get of that. So if you look at the stack exposure, you do see almost half of them as 4-2s. You do see this 4-0. So I'm gonna X that one out, and let's just see what we're getting as far as different exposures. So I'm getting like just too much of this ninja in pajamas. Let's just see. Actually, I didn't even do the Sims yet. I'm sorry. I just ran ran it by, I think I ran it by Saber Sport, but let's see. Let's see what we get here when we attack these Sims. I just think, no, this is right. It's still getting me all of this ninja in pajamas. So what do you do with this? I mean, this is just way too. I think this is way too concentrated. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to do something about that. The good thing about, again, playing these Thunder Talk stacks is that they're just going to be, I really think they're going to be so low owned. And I really should get under the field on Ninja and Pajamas. I mean, I don't mind not having any of Dan Lankia. They're a big favorite, but they usually play pretty slow. And I don't really need any of these big underdogs here. And the other thing I could do, see, here's the problem. I don't want to. Well, I don't want to just force this stuff. That's why I use the projections. Let's see what we have in the captain. That's actually a good thing that we can do here. So let's only use. So we don't need support in the captain, and let's not even use mid in the captain. Let's limit it, as we mentioned, to junglers and ADCs. I don't know if that's going to change much, but we're still getting a whole bunch of the NIP. And it's a lot of IG. So really this is coming down to just two matches, right? And we're going to play some T1 here for sure. But not as much, and we're just going to be all over this NIP Thunder Talk and the JDG IG matchup, and hope these others bust pretty much. So that's kind of where we're at. Let's look at the four-mans. So of all these, once again, just so many of the Ninja and Pajamas four-mans. Then you have 17% Thunder Talk, 17% JDG. I would love to just up those to some degree, and not make it all about. But if you can get away with a Thunder Talk sweep in a big score, I mean, at low ownership, I mean, this is a really good way to, I think, to get to take one of these downs on your own. So let's really make sure. Well, we could. So we maybe get under on the JDG four-mans. No, we'll play some JDG four-mans, but it's mostly going to be this NIP Thunder Talk, but we're getting almost as much Thunder Talk. And then we're going to get probably more IG than JDG. So this is looking like a nice little contrarian set here. And as far as stack exposure, again, mostly some 4.2s, some 4.3s, and yeah. So let's just go ahead and put these in. So let's first save these to the, well, let's first do the double buff here. Put these 40 in, and then we'll direct fill the Triumphant Warrior. Save that one, and that one's actually kind of interesting. Like right now, the way I have that with Don Juan Kia, and then a 4-man Thunder Talk. That's pretty risky, I have to say. But that's what the Sims are getting me, right? Let's do this again. Let's just resim this. Oops. Let's resim this to just the Triumphant Warrior. Yeah, this is what we're getting. So we're going to go with this one. So we're hoping for a nice little slow victory from DK, and then Thunder Talk to just to jam and get there. So we'll save that. We're good. And then we'll put these in. So that's what we got. And yeah, so I have this in both of them. This seems like awfully risky though. I mean, what if we just, instead of using the Sims, why don't we just went with Saber score here? And even still, I mean, look at this. We're still getting this Thunder Talk DK is like a really, really good lineup. So we're gonna go with this and trust our process. I guess that's it. Again, if anything, I'll be able to update maybe around here, maybe when I get, when I have a window from like 7 to 8, maybe. So maybe I'll update around here. And yeah, that's it.